In my last video, I gave you all the tips and tricks on how to hack your Misti to make your card making easier. Today I'm going to be creating a cute and funny birthday card, and I'm going to teach you the easiest way to mask off your cards when you're stamping and ink blending. I'm excited to share these tips with you. Usually I use hammermill cardstock. You know that's my favorite. Today I'm actually using a different type of cardstock for this technique. Since we're going to be masking, we have to have a different type of cardstock. My layers are always 3.5 by 4 3/4, and I'm going to just stick that down in the center. And remember, if you need to check out that Misti hack video, this will help you so much. My card layer is created from the Bristol Smooth Surface cardstock. It's 100 pound, it's very smooth paper, and it's a really nice quality paper. So I love using this. If you do this technique, you will need to use this paper or you will ruin your card surface. Tim Holtz Snarky Cats, these are an all-time favorite of mine to use for cards. I'm going to be using the top 3 cats. This little guy right down here, another one here off to the side. This little guy is going to go right up here at the very top, but we want his little paws right up here like he's grasping on to the top of the card. Now we're ready to stamp. For this masking technique, I prefer using the Gina Designs Amalgam ink in the color Obsidian, but you can choose to experiment with any other inks that you have. Wonderful thing about having your Misti set up this way is you can go right in and clean up all the ink that ends up around the outer border of your card layer. This is why it's so important that we use the Bristol Smooth cardstock and not any other type of cardstock. I'm going to be using drawing gum. I will apply this with a small paintbrush. Do not take a paintbrush directly into the drawing gum. If you do, when you go to wash out your brush, you'll find that you do not have any bristles on your brush. It will eat right through the bristles. I'm not kidding. Don't do it. You will ruin your paintbrush. Here I have just a little bit of hand lotion. Gently coat the bristles with the hand lotion. Just use whatever kind you want. Get it nice and coated. Just gonna lay that right down there. Now that my bristles are all coated in the hand lotion, I'm just gonna give my masking fluid a little shake. Open it up and put it off to the side. Using the masking fluid, you just want to dip your brush in. You don't want it too thick because you want it to dry very well, but keep with inside your lines, and this is going to go where you don't want the ink, or if it's a stamped image, you don't want that stamped image on that section when you overlay your stamp onto it. So just put the masking fluid where you want it. This is to keep everything off of your design. It will dry blue. It doesn't change color, clear, anything like that. It will be blue when it dries. Once I have everything covered, I'm just going to go rinse my brush out. Once you have your brush all cleaned off, you shouldn't have any bristles missing. It shouldn't be melted. It should just be perfectly clean. Beautiful stencil by Tim Holtz, and I'll put this up close just so you can see the numbers on it because I don't actually know what the stencil is called, but it's a beautiful brick pattern. Place my stencil on just like this, and then I'm going to use my magnets to hold it in place just so that it does not shift and move. And for a little added security, you can tape it on the edges if you want to. The color I'm going to be using for my stencil is Lumberjack Plaid. The nice thing about having my Misti laid out this way is when I go up here and do my edge blending all the way to the edge of the card, my ink is not blending onto the sticky of this grip mat. It's actually going onto my acetate sheet, making it for an easy blend and easy cleanup. Super easy. I love this. I'm going to color around all of my cats. You don't want to go in on your cats, but just go gently around them. And that masking fluid is going to do its job. Once I get done with all my ink blending, when I lift this up, you can see I actually have this line through here. So I need to move my stencil over and line it up to where it's going to be good enough to finish off this edge. Now that I have my stencil moved and all lined up, I'm just going to go in and fill in around the edges. Masking fluid just makes this so much easier. Move my stencil off to the side. I don't need that anymore. Now I'm going to switch colors. The vintage photo ink, and this just blends amazing over the Lumberjack Plaid to really give a good distressed look. So just start blending in that color. Just go right over top, and it's going to give the brick more of a faded out look. Once I'm done with my ink blending, I'm just going to go around the edges and clean up my ink blend off of my acetate sheet. Just go all the way around and clean that up. Because I've blended ink on this stuff right here, I kind of like to just go back through and dab it. That way, if there's any ink that's gotten on it really bad, then it's going to come off. So I just kind of like to dab it off a little bit. And you can see just lightly a little bit of ink came off onto that. It's just so when we peel this masking off that it doesn't transfer onto your actual images. I've dabbed everything off. We're just going to slowly start to peel this back. And just take your time with this and just gently take all the masking off. See, it's like balling up right there. Now, if you use a different type of cardstock other than this, it's gonna rip it. I've tried several different kinds of cardstock and had such a headache over it, and it did not work out well for me. So I'm teaching you all the tips and tricks because I struggled with using this masking fluid. Once you've got a good enough of a ball started, you may actually be able to peel it off too, which is super nice if it wants to come off that way. I have all of my masking fluid removed, and you can see how it gets up close to the edge. Perfect blend on this. Once you know the correct way to use this masking fluid, it changes your life with card making because it is so easy when it comes to stamping and you need to mask off your project to be able to stamp over top of it. This is just amazing. I color all my cats with Copics. For this first cat, the main body is done in this color, orange stripes. The green eyes are both done with these colors, inside of the ear. This is the fine tip markers that I use when I'm doing the fine details, like I go over the whiskers, the mouth, the inner portion of the eye. I hit the nose with a little more black just to brighten it up. And you can see how fine the tip on that is. This cat up in this corner, the stripes are done with this color. The main body, blue eyes. Bottom cat, stripes, main body, and for the eyes. I use this to highlight the nose, the eyes, and other features. And then I'm going in with my number 10 white jelly roll pen, and I'm going to hit some of the white areas in the nose to make those areas pop. And look how beautiful all those colors turn out. This is a really fun happy birthday set that I have, and I'm going to be using this larger balloon. I'm going to cut 2 of those, and then this next size balloon, I need 1 of those. And then I'm going to be using the squiggly die for the actual string of the balloon. Now when I go to color in my balloons, I like to keep the sheet that I die cut everything out of, and then I piece the balloons back in, and it holds it in place so I can color in my balloon easier. I've already got my balloons colored. This is what they look like. And now I'm just going to add them to my card and add all the details. And don't be afraid to use your own handwriting for your sentiments if you don't have a sentiment that'll work for your card. The Tim Holtz BlackOut cardstock for the very back layer of my card. And I'm going to be cutting that out with the Waffle Flower A2 layer dies. And I'm cutting it out using the second die. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to go check out all the fun hacks and tips and organization on my channel. You'll find some really cool stuff there that's really going to help you out. For the very inside sentiment on this card, I'm going to be using the Things Talk stamp set by Tim Holtz, and I'm going to be using the Happy Birthday. I have the sentiment stamped for the inside of my card. I finally adhere the front of my layer to my card and add my balloons. The first balloon that I'm going to be using, and for this I don't like leaving the tails completely white, so I'm going to go in with my little black marker and put some fine details on here and just add some black stripes. I'm going to be adding this fine detail to all of my balloons. Hang in there, you're getting old. Happy birthday. This was such a fun and cute card to create, and I hope this inspires you so much in your own card making. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and leave me a comment below and let me know what you think of my card. Until next time, I'll catch you in that next video. Shorty just curled up to take a nap in her window hammock. Little Butters is so sleepy right now.